Greetings and welcome to our latest video around our Agile dev and test functionality for relational and NoSQL databases. In this particular instance, we're going to focus on Oracle databases. So as you can see, I'm currently about to log into my Cohesity cluster, and what I'm going to be presented with is a user interface in which I need to navigate down to our test and dev functionality. So we start off with the summary page, and I'm going to move my mouse down to the test and dev location. This is going to open up our user interface. As you can see, there's already been some clone jobs that have been enabled or have been performed on this device. I'm going to click on this blue box, clone, and I'm going to select databases. Now, I'm going to do a global search within our Cohesity cluster for a database called ORCL. This is an Oracle database that we've been backing up on this cluster. You can see here related to it, its protection job and the host in question that it's coming from, in this case, Oracle 01. Now I've selected the database. There's an option here to change the clone point. However, in this particular version, we're not enabling anything but the latest restore point. That functionality will be coming in future versions. Now I am going to select the Oracle host. In this case, I'm going to select the same host that this database was on. I'm going to basically recover it back to another database instance. There is an option for configuring RMAN channels. However, in this case, we're going to take the default. Now, we do need a couple of environmental variables from our Oracle device. In this case, the home directory and the base directory. Now, I have these off screen. I'm going to cut and paste them into the window. You can see there's a slight change from the default for Oracle Home, in this case also for the base directory. Now I'm going to put a database name. Do keep in mind, Oracle databases are limited to 8 characters. So I'm going to call this one specifically Clone2. The last bit of information I need to enter is our system global area. In this case, I'm going to maximize this to just a little over 1 gig of memory utilization. We shouldn't need to go any higher than that, mostly due to the fact that we don't need to recreate everything from the production database, and that includes its size as far as RAM utilization. So I'm going to click on the clone button. Now, we're presented with our user interface that gives us a rundown of what's actually happening from this recovery perspective. Now, I have this button here called Show Subtasks. I've clicked on it. I can hide this information as well, but what this gives me is a little bit of a play-by-play of what's going on between the Cohesity cluster and our Oracle device. So in some of these cases, you can see what we're doing is we're getting our snapshot configuration from our device. We're also mounting a storage component with that snapshot available to the Oracle 01 device. And last but not least, what we've done is we've started our database clone. This lets us know that at this point, we're actually transferring the data over to the Clone2 database. Now, a bit of time has passed, and you can see we now have a successful clone of the database. We're looking at the rest of our task details, and you can see we've gone all the way down to the point where the restore task has completed. So what we're going to do here is we're going to change over to our SSH session we have with the Oracle device. As you can see, I already have a command preloaded. What this command is going to do is look through our Oracle host, and when we grep for pmon, that allows us to look and see what databases are actually running from a system perspective. So you can see I have my ORCL database, and I now have the new Clone2 database. So the database has been cloned over to our host. Now, there are a couple of options for Lifecycle after this. You can see where I'm at right now with my mouse. There's a tear down clone option. This allows us to delete this clone that we just created on that particular device. But interestingly enough, we have a refresh option. These options allow for us to take this cloned copy and refresh them from new snapshots that we get in the Cohesity system, or to allow for us to refresh from any snapshot in our point in time. So in this particular case, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select. Now what I'm going to show is refreshing from our latest snapshot. So you can see I have the option. It just basically gives me a confirm option. This is going to select the latest one that we have and is going to basically overwrite the existing database with the latest snapshot. But in this case, if I select from just any snapshot, you can see I have my recovery points. Right now I have 12 of them listed in the Cohesity system. And say, for instance, I wanted to get this database from August 31st. If I click on the Save button from here, what this is going to do is initiate a refresh task that also gives me some information on the screen and another set of subtasks to follow through. So what's happening is the Clone2 database is now being refreshed with the information from the August 31st snapshot. So essentially, I'm just overwriting that particular database. So I want to be able to thank you for watching this particular video, and I look forward to showing off more of our latest functionality as we release it over the course of time. Thank you.